I don't care. The great thing about being my age is I just don't care. I've got a good quality of life. You can trust my experience and my judgment, or you can't. I'm not going to sell myself, and I'm not going to defend myself. The only thing I'm going to say is this is not the first time or the 30th time I've done this.
Of course, Jimmy, and I know that talking to Lisa could have slowed it down 6 months, but would that have been a bad thing when we're all questioning every single? No, I know, but
that's their concern. They're desperate.
Every son and daughter.
The
Jimmy, can I
conversation we
finish?
just had was about adult children in a remarriage when there's been a death, and I'm saying I give you grace for your emotions and what you're feeling, but I'm not going through what you're going through, and I've got the experience. I'm saying,
Jimmy,
you can trust and you can submit, or you can keep going through this wrangling, and that's all it is.
We need to process this out.
I'm not going to talk to Lisa. I didn't talk to Lisa, and I'm not going to defend myself on that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, would it be the worst thing if it slowed down 6 months if every single offspring of these two individuals is questioning the validity of this marriage?
Your view is different.
No.
It's not going to change the Bible verses you quote.
No.
It's not going to change anything.
No,
presented today.
but again, what if there is a spark of hope that Lisa could get back with you? Wouldn't that be the best solution in the end?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
No, I'm serious. Wouldn't that be the best solution before God if you guys could get back?
But what you didn't trust is I gave 1,000% to make that possible. 1,000%. My heart cried out for her to do that. Okay, I gave it 1,000%. And you're saying...
Now, if you're familiar with the story, you know there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this marriage. Joni Lamb's relationship with Doug Weiss, following the tragic death of her husband Marcus Lamb, has sparked a lot of debates, not just about their personal lives, but about how we view love, healing, and redemption in the Christian faith. Joni, as you know, co-founded Daystar Television with her late husband, Marcus Lamb. And shortly after his passing in 2021, Joni's relationship with Doug Weiss started to catch the public's attention. In March 2023, they announced their engagement, just months after Marcus's death. The timing raised eyebrows, and some people started questioning whether this was too soon, whether Joni had properly mourned the loss of Marcus, or whether this was the right timing according to biblical principles. So, let's break it down. Doug Weiss, before his marriage to Joni, was married to his ex-wife Lisa for over 30 years. His divorce, which he filed for in January 2022, just 2 months after Marcus's death, also raised some eyebrows. The divorce was finalized by May 2022. This timeline adds even more complexity to the situation. Were Joni and Doug's relationship and decisions really as God-led, as they've claimed? Or was it more about emotional healing? Well, let's take a deeper look. Once the case was finalized, Denise Bogg mentioned in an interview that Joni Lamb had asked if she could spend time with a friend who was going through a divorce. That friend was Doug. This reveals that Joni was in touch with Doug during his divorce proceedings.
Preparing herself is sort of how she put it. She, was to prepare herself possibly for, someone that was going to enter her life. And Doug Weiss then began to be a feature in her life. And was there any communication in your life with Joni at that time?
Yeah, she did contact me and asked me, if I would spend some time with a friend of hers that was going through a hard divorce. She let me know that they had begun talking and going to begin to date. And at that point in time, I did voice my concern. He had not, it was too soon. I said, no, this is too soon. He has not worked through the issues. And I said, no, I'll be glad to work with you, but no, this is too soon. And at that point in time, she said, well, that's fine, that Jimmy Evans would be working with them. So at that point in time, I didn't work anymore. After I warned her and told her, no, there's too many unresolved things, and this is too soon to jump into this. And so I didn't work with them.
Joni has defended their relationship, saying that she sought counsel from trusted individuals in the ministry before moving forward. She mentioned that she surrounded herself with wise people and did everything by the book, dating, praying, and allowing time for things to unfold in a healthy way. But there's also the question, was it wise to rush into this new marriage so soon? One of the most painful parts of this story is how it has affected Joni's relationship with her children, particularly Jonathan and Susie Lamb. Jonathan, who has voiced his concerns about the timing and Doug's personal history, felt that his mom was moving too fast. He believed Doug didn't do enough to restore his own marriage with Lisa. There were tense moments in their family, with Jonathan confronting Doug, asking hard questions, even demanding accountability.
Because for all you know, Doug could have just told you half
One
truths
side.
or one side of the story.
Well, Jonathan, I have a lot of experience, I have a lot of discernment. I could have, in talking to Doug and also with Joni, I could have discerned if he was lying in 5 minutes because I know how to talk to him. And when he said to me when we were talking and I asked him question after question after question after question, he answered every question exactly, and he never dishonored Lisa. Never threw under the bus.
But he's a pro. He's like the best of the best when it comes to like dealing with people.
You've dehumanized him.
He would know what to say, you know?
I'm an object in this world.
Yeah,
In the world that you guys created, Doug's an object, he's not a soul.
Yeah.
He's not a brother in Christ.
Yeah.
He's not forgiven. He's not the righteousness of Christ. He's an object.
That's Doug.
So you have dehumanized him. He's professional. He knew what he was doing and seducing a grieving widow and all this stuff. What I'm saying is, as a human, I'm talking to Doug on the phone and I'm asking questions and he's answering every single question the way I've heard it answered over and over and over by someone who's been abused over a long period of time. And so number one. Number two is I talked to people and I asked questions because I'm not going to tell you who I talked to, but I asked questions and I got the answers about what was happening in their relationship. And I met Lisa a couple of times. And so I was satisfied because of the conversations that I had with her and him and others, that in having a conversation with Lisa, because we talked about this when we met the other day, I think Rachel was asking, I know what Lisa would have said. And what it would have done is exactly what Doug said. It would have slowed it down 6 months. Lisa would have said, I've tried to work on the relationship, I want the relationship, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm saying. So I have to work with people sitting in front of me and the information I have and the experience I have.
Yeah,
but it all comes down to trust. And, Rachel said this the other day. She said, talking about you, Susie, she said, well, Susie wants to say something and she has a lot more trust in you than anybody else at this table, which was obviously disrespectful. And I don't care. The great thing about being my age is I just don't care. I've got a good quality of life. You can trust my experience and my judgment, or you can't. I'm not going to sell myself. I'm not going to defend myself. The only thing I'm going to say is this is not the first time or the 30th time I've done this.
Of course, Jimmy. And I know that talking to Lisa could have slowed it down 6 months, but would that have been a bad thing when we're all questioning every single? No, I know, but
That's their concern. They're desperately
every son and daughter.
The
Jimmy, can I
conversation we
finish?
just had was about adult children in a remarriage when there's been a death, and I'm saying I give you grace for your emotions and what you're feeling, but I'm not going through what you're going through, and I've got the experience. I'm saying
Jimmy,
you can trust and you can submit, or you can keep going through this wrangling, and that's all it is.
we need to process this out.
I'm not going to talk to Lisa. I didn't talk to Lisa, and I'm not going to defend myself on that.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, would it be the worst thing if it slowed down 6 months if every single offspring of these two individuals is questioning the validity of this marriage?
Your view is different.
No.
It's not going to change the Bible verses you quote.
No.
It's not going to change anything.
No,
presented today.
but again, what if there is a spark of hope that Lisa could get back with you? Wouldn't that be the best solution in the end?
Jesus. Okay.
No, I'm serious. Wouldn't that be the best solution before God if you guys could get back?
But what you didn't trust is I gave 1,000% to make that possible. 1,000%. My heart cried out for her to do that. Okay, I gave it 1,000%, and you're saying, oh, well, just keep doing it. Okay, I gave it that. Okay, I gave it 1,000%. And yes, that's intensity because I've been through 30 years of being neglected. And I tried and tried and cried and prayed. Okay? This isn't, you can act scared. You're not scared of me. I'm totally.
I'm a little off-put by your reaction.
He acts like that when I yell. It's not acting.
You're
It's
saying
just
something again.
It's his personality.
Okay? That I have been through an incredible amount of pain. And you're saying, Doug, damn it, just suck it up and try it.
I'm not saying that.
I'm just trying to understand.
I'm
She just got through saying, that's what she just got through saying. Why didn't you go to Lisa and give it another?
No, I'm just saying, wouldn't that be the most honoring thing before the Lord?
Pray to God.
It's not honoring to be abused. It's not honoring to be abused. It's not honoring to be neglected. It's not honoring to be untouched and unloved. It's not honoring to do that. Okay? I have a clear conscience before my God, who has never left me 1 second in this process and provides miracles for me to get out of that. Okay? It's not honorable to do that. You're saying just get beat up at home and suck it up because you wear the name Christian.
No, but
and do it in the name of Jesus.
But can God change her heart? Can she change?
Jonathan, I pray to God you never go through the kind of pain he's been through.
I understand, but
You don't
can people
understand.
change?
You don't understand. You don't understand.
But can
You
people-
don't have the life experience to
I understand, but
You've got
I'm saying we
people in
serve a
front
big
of-
God. He
you've
can
got
change.
people in front
He
of
can
you that
restore
understand.
marriages. That's what we believe for as Daystar. Like that is the best outcome
I
here.
love that, Joni, but it's not our
But he
place.
doesn't-
I know,
He
but
doesn't go past you.
I know, but she can change.
But
Like,
if God talks to everyone individually, God has talked to him.
Change, okay? There's not a capacity for that. Okay? She chooses not to
I think
change.
As you just heard, Jonathan's words were full of emotion and concern. But Doug, in turn, explained that he had given 1,000% to save his marriage with Lisa, and that it just wasn't possible anymore. He mentioned that he had a clear conscience before God, and that his actions were not out of disrespect or disregard for his ex-wife, but out of necessity for healing. Now, here's the truth. We all face different battles. Some of us have endured years of pain, neglect, and heartache. And when it comes to relationships, especially those that involve a public figure or leader, it's easy for us to have strong opinions. But what's most important here is how we respond to one another in love, grace, and understanding something that is sometimes difficult in situations like this. Joni herself said in an interview that she prayed for guidance, asked tough questions, and consulted with wise counsel people who were close to her and trusted. She says that Doug has been a great husband since they've married and has been a blessing to her. Now, I think we need to pause here and think about the bigger picture. Does God truly work in mysterious ways? Can He redeem situations that seem broken, even beyond what we understand?
Opinions, should you get married? Is it biblical? Is it unbiblical? Everybody took the clip about Robert Morris, right? Mm-hmm. And they ran with that one. He said technically it wasn't biblical. That's what Susie says Robert Morris told her. And I just want you to share, your heart, whatever you feel comfortable, to say on the platform about that.
Well, that scripture that says there's wisdom in the multitude of counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I didn't start talking to Doug until he was divorced. And we were just friends for a while, and then it turned into more. But I surrounded myself with people in the ministry that I trust. And of course, me being an interviewer like you, I ask him a million questions.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I went to people that I trusted and said, hey, I know I'm in a position where people are watching. I want to use wisdom, and I'd like for you to come and help, us walk through this relationship. And so they all said, well, we need to meet him and talk to him and find out what his story. And so they did. And they all came back and said, we understand his situation, and we believe there is a biblical reason. And we're good with you starting the dating process, but just kind of slow it down.
Okay.
So that was like September, October of 2022. And so that's what I did. I slowed it down, we slowed it down, and just began to take our time. And of course, he's living in Colorado Springs, I'm here in Dallas. So people are always going to have opinions about this, and the thing is, just like what you said, I know what his story is, God knows what his story is, and these people that I surrounded myself with know his story. So I'm not going to tell every detail of his private life or what happened,
Sure.
because it's nobody's business. At the end of the day, Marcus, I just have to know that I'm being obedient to what God is telling me. And so I had, a lot of prayer and counsel, and Doug has, of course, now we're married. He's been an amazing man, and it has been a great blessing to me since I've been married to him.
Yeah.
I mean, you had mentioned about something about an NDA
Oh, yes.
with that his ex-wife had signed an NDA. It's a complete lie.
Okay.
And Susie has made comments about his ex-wife. She's never had a conversation with his ex-wife, and you know, Doug and his wife, ex-wife, were working with a judge and divided everything. It was amicable. So again, there's a lot of chatter out there, but he has a good relationship with his ex. And I know that sounds crazy, but he does. And we're not going to do anything to hurt her or his kids by telling you every detail of everything that we know. Is that I didn't start talking to him till he was divorced.
Okay.
I never had a conversation with his ex-wife. I don't know what she said or she didn't say. All I know is that when I started talking to him, he was divorced, and I knew that what happened, he shared with me, you know, private things about his marriage, and I know that we're not going to talk about those things.
Right.
But she still works for him. So, I mean, again, they have a working relationship. There's not, you know, bitterness or whatever going on there. So,
you know, some people trying to reach out and they say they're trying to get a hold of her, and some people say she's not talking, but you're saying there is no NDA, there is none of that stuff.
there's no NDA. There was no NDA, yeah.
Of course, we also know that opinions about remarriage in the church vary greatly. Some believe it's absolutely wrong to remarry too soon after a spouse's passing. Others, though, believe that God's grace and healing power can redeem what we may consider impossible. The key is seeking God's will, and it's clear that both Joni and Doug believe they are walking in obedience to what God has asked of them. Ultimately, what matters most is our relationship with the Lord. Whether you agree or disagree with their decisions, our role as believers is to extend grace and trust that God is working through every situation, no matter how controversial or complicated it may seem. So, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Is this story one of divine timing, love, and redemption? Or does it raise more questions than answers? Let's discuss in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on more stories like this one. Thank you for joining me today. Remember, in everything, keep questioning, keep learning, and always keep your faith strong. Peace and blessings to you all. Until next time.